In spring, in spring, in springtime, the buds on the trees are starting to show. The flowers on the ground are starting to grow in the springtime, and we're walking in the rain. When I was a man you could call a man, and the black cross of the holy house sighed the old ramrod, dying of welcome. Walking in the woods on a day in springtime, the buds on the trees are starting to show. The flowers on the ground are starting to grow in the springtime, and we're walking in the rain. When I was a man you could call a man, and the black cross of the holy house sighed the old ramrod, dying of welcome. Brandy and ripe in my bright base prime, no spring-tailed Tom in the red-hot town, with every simmering woman his mouse, but a hillocky bull in the I'm a star, a string, a 6-digit string. It can't be a numeral 6, numeral 6.
Gold swallow, start tomorrow's ever after tasting of it. Yeah, ooh, white girl had me laced up. Cross trainers with a cross your heart train to draw. Lost her purity with a co-worker down in the infirmary. Like a surgeon took the versions of the margins of her imagination. Fascination got so lost that we forgot the patience. They screamed in hell, in pain, in pain. While we screamed in passion, releasing the drama we contain.
By way of an area navigating glass, past the massive stratostructure cotton balls dissolving in the atmosphere. That is truly my first lesson. Introgressing, biolamination, planting a galactic turkey based in install monkeys for special occasions. Left my home mineral with words of wisdom in my nervous system. Pause and freeze, breaking these, washing powers to the knees. Left behind the pieces of mine that I lost in a pond, with hopes of recouping my net worth that I lost in a bond. Binding agreement, interactivating with such changelings, far from resonance of biospheric self, lyric for lyric, my choice of relevance, evidence when these dense minds are condensed until I land on a new sphere of life. I won't be time to bed, boys and girls, leave the front door. But we'll see what they got, the double the seconds off. Next year, 2 rooms, I never seen a man last more than a clown man. And I was sitting inside in the home. Every tells me I feel lines, the order my day out. I think my ways take to ignore the awkward talk. Humans make me nervous when they try to keep me caged. And the splitting behind the center of the pupils as it hits the flying trees above the speeder bike and forestry top. Upper shelf and deep behind it, former women with big tits and face pace. Only the penitent man will pass. Driving our tank, manufacturing.
Ever long. How long was it? Well, how long and how much did it take? Was it too much to bear? Was there any bears there at all for who's to mock the scorn? Who's to find emotion of wounded or the lame and those the poor? Who had the feelings and to remember forevermore for the no more? Where are those lovers now you call for the name that you had to weep over? For you wept the death of the funeral parlor, for your name is calling for the valiant. I am not for the eating for the prisoner over your son, the wings and your zeal is free. Again, that warrior soul for the service of a man. Sleep soft, this is forgotten on the stone. For this is one for the clay of its own. Sleep with that for the heart of the wise. It kindles the flame. Mankind is this far more for the lay of the name. For the mankind for the far for the living. Your name is not in vain. My Lord, it's the memory of my child.
Much to bear. Is there any bears there at all for who's to mock the scorn? Who's to find emotion of wounded or the lame and those the poor? Who had the feelings and to remember forevermore for the no more? Where are those lovers now you call for the name for you have to weep over? For you wept for death for the funeral parlor, for your name is calling for the valiant. I am not for the eager for the prisoner over your son, the wings and your zeal is dreaming. Again, that warrior soul for the service of a man. Sleep soft, this is forgotten on the stone. This is one for the clay of its own. Sleep with that for the heart of the wise. It kindles the flame. Mankind is this far more for the lay of the name. For the mankind, for the far for the living. Your name is not in vain. My Lord, it's the memory of my child. The children is never gone and forgotten. The secret is to rejoice. Heard into me now. Love, it's you I have. Love. You I hold in my arms. All days, those rain, sing, cry. Your light soul, tossing perfume, swept away from wheels of you find. Spin flower petal formed from the spring. Forgo no more for the below, but after the journey for the only the belly for the trails of no flame. The pawn is lying low, seated conniving. Ways to find yourself as fast as little turtles. This is a spider for the ghost to fly. Yes, I was once a spider for this only born to fly. For this the spider with the gown with the rainbow dye. For the wings that glowed enough for the back of the hair. Joe to the parlor for the winning stares down. For the educated for this spider for this to tell me all apart for the hunting and hurt. So I beat my heart enough to say I compose a poem. The traveler of the heart. Flow with the dark for the heart of that for the rose of the poem. I send it for the owner of the earth, for this would be the stings, it's time to find it. What's spread for enough of the land to walk for the hill, for the path that this would pull to let this would be. what's meant to left for the sky view. Like they with walking with the vicious wind. Whence you find what's been fled for the sacred of the earth, for this the end to the sleeping, to the terror for this within spirits to you. Find a peace in that jewel around. Instead of that for the which you can find all black things and pits. For the lowering fat and what's instead threat. Stars for the pillar for there inside of the gloom, for the arching of your head, for the dis about the daisies. Or the round the breast. And you found that for the never rest, for the flowery of a chain, for using the heart to be fed, for the dis for the heart of mine, heart of me. For the little song long but enough for the sweet, for the melody, for the sunburn, you can find the days achieving. You're right, ripples. You're right. It was sort of simple. You look at those two birds, crows on the poles to the telephone, for you can see what rings them. Think I thought for the air fat for the cause, for the beat for the fiber for the loss, and the mother for the setter for the stutter for the over that for the thought for the father, the other for the dark pine and crow for the riddle. What a math for the meaning, the swinging of the sword, for the beast the sword, enough for the lover to take up for the up for the death for the beat for the sword, and the fiddle for the dis for the half of the sword, for the fiddle for the dis to be the crow, for the beat for the only cause, and the goes to real. Too close to that for the define self, for this is only steep. See more than you can ever find. What's the saxophone play dust to be upon that wind for the certain years, and you'll have the tears for this and harder for the time for this garage to find the art for this to be down enough for the dim but enough for the I want for the bones so near to even find the earth near the earth. Near the daddy gone for this man to find the word for this appetite for this brother moon and this world for the grave for this where I come to no lit for the vocal if it is inside the piece of this around to speak to me. Please not speak to me for this to be the tune to the sky. How long was it? Well, how long and how much did it take? Was it too much to bear? Is there any bears there at all? For who's to mock the scorn? Who's to find emotion of wounded or the lame and those the poor? Who had feelings to remember forevermore for the no more?
We all should be responsible. We all should be responsible. It's like y'all hate it with love. You're down to the core for obstacles. Should've did it for the what? Potential. Things stay here now at midnight for this little town. In your morning with the figure walking and you not to rest for this pacing up and down. Homestead for the linger from where you used to play. Ground to worn stone to this dawn star. Going again for the finest sweet. Playing with that for this final game. Thinking for the what you can find them in the love of the master of all. He cannot sleep up all night. Amongst you like as sometimes before. Toss that lie awake for long grief. Deep for start to see the final passing. Go ahead, it's bow for the thinking for the king. For this is seek for the world, but cry now he's sleep. Peasants to fight for you know for the day. Tear weep for the sins of warlords burning heart. Seek death for the scoring and every main. For this to carry yourself for the wrapping of the shoulders. Now for the bitterness to follow you and you can have the pain. Can I rest into the spirit dawn? Come shining hope. Free that sober folk for you. Workers earth that to bring you along. Peace you find sleep. Race is hard, the kings must still. Traveling for here to seem yet in vain. Who will bring that peace to sleep upon this again? Who's to say it needs to make sense anyway? No doubt for tomorrow I'll hide that face for you to find a king again. Rejoice to the Sunday again, you can
have the Sabbath, for the kneeling that you can find and sing. Wisdom not to forgive, for the senses my faith, for the soul, for the wine and hide and wine and mind, to make the hour the great enough, for the God, for the martyr, for the hour, for the son I know. 1,000 days your voice laid temptation low. Every the eagle has never been forgotten, for the stone, for this the way you were, for this the open habits home, for the river, the now, for the thought of your foe, for the set. Secret enough for the creatures in your brain, born, patriot, unvoiced, snarled, foamed at, and ended over the praise, and you laid away, for this to be the morning of the yo, bitter first crust of your fine scorn, made way you remember. Responsible. It's like y'all niggas hate it with love. You're down to the court for obstacles. Should've did it for the what? Potentials. Things stay here now, midnight for this little town. In your morning with the figure walking and you not the rest of this pacing up and down. Homestead for the linger from where you used to play. Ground to worn stone to this dawn star. Morning infinite, you can find it sweet. Claim to die for the defining game, for the figure for the what you can find, the men that love for the master of all. He cannot sleep up all night. Amongst you like past and times before. Toss that lie awake for long grief. Deep is start to see define the past and go ahead. It's bow for the thinking for the king, for this is seek for the world that cried. Now he sleep. Peasants to fight for you know for the day. Terry weep for the sins of warlords burn his heart. Seek that for the scoring and every main, for this to carry yourself for the wrapping of the shoulders. Now for the bitterness to follow you and you can have the pain. Can I rest into the spirit dawn? Come shining hope, free of that sober folk, for your workers earth that after to bring the long peace that you'll find to see. It breaks his heart, the kings must still traveling for here to see him yet in vain. And who will bring that peace till you sleep upon this again? Who's to say it needs to make sense anyway? No doubt for the morrow hide that face for you to find a king again. Rejoice to the Sunday again that you can have the Sabbath, for the kneeling that you can find and sing. Wisdom not to forgive, for the senses my faith, for the soul, for the wine and hide and wine and mind, to make the hour the great enough, for the God, for the martyr, for the hour, for the son I know. 1,000 days your voice laid temptation low.